I'm just at the shop getting all loaded up. We're going to a car show this weekend. It's our biggest local car show. I think it's one of the biggest in Canada, but can't be sure on that. It's called the Langley Cruise In. We're gonna be there this weekend. When you see this, it might be past couple of days ago. That's also why I haven't got to the comments in a few days, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna catch up in the next few days, I promise. What you're about to see is probably one of the hairiest times I've ever seen with my truck there, that hot rod. It just about ended our trip, so you're about to find out. This is all for Metal Reborn, which you guys will see in October, unless you are coming to the premiere at the drive-in on the 29th. MetalReborn.com to get more info on that, and let's get into it. Never done that before. Just like full cut. Nothing. Oh. You motherfucker. For it to just pop like all of a sudden out of nowhere. What the f***? Oh, we got some motor work to do, I guess. Fuck, man.
Oh, it's leaking too, huh?
Yeah, that's it. That's it for today. Blew her up.
What?
Just doesn't want to run anymore. I'm pretty sure I blew a head gasket. Leaking oil out the head. Well, it better happen here than in Cache Creek. We don't have any way of fixing it.
Dude, the whole motor needs to come apart today, eh?
Yeah, whole top end has to come off. And if that's all it is, like, yeah. That thing, like, detonated.
Right.
It was like boom!
So
and then
like a piston.
Nothing. I don't know if there's a hole in the piston or something. There's oil where there shouldn't be, that's all I know.
Only Carl would be laughing at this situation like that.
We got the motor ripped apart. Here it is. Pulled the heads off. It was kind of weird the way that it happened. Like, the engine just shut down. I thought originally it was electrical, like it was like an ignition or something like that, but there was like a poof and it shut down. I'm not the greatest engine guy, I'm a fab guy, but I've ripped apart some motors. So I talked to my brother. He's sort of the guru as far as I'm concerned on that kind of stuff. I told him what was happening. While I was on the phone with him, I noticed that there was nicks in my pistons from the valves. So they touched, they're fresh. So, I mean, right away, I mean, it's either a snap timing chain or it's a skip timing chain. We assume it's a skip timing chain because I did try to restart it and did sort of kind of run. So it must have just skipped a tooth. You know, 7 out of the 8 intake valves touched the pistons. So they didn't touch super hard. They're, you know, aluminum pistons, so they could take a little bit. And I just solvent checked the heads, and 7 out of 8 of them for sure didn't have a leak. I don't know if I maybe got a little bit of solvent leaked down, and there's one intake valve that it either leaked or I just did the test wrong and I didn't notice some solvent getting near the valve. So I'm gonna recheck that, but regardless, front end of the motor's coming off, and we're gonna have a look at the timing chain, obviously replace it, and we'll start from there. We're gonna make it to Cache Creek, one way or another. So it wasn't timing chain. Timing chain's good. It's good that all the stuff's getting checked anyway. The pistons, they kissed the valves. That was my bad. I think I may have done a little bit of a valve float yesterday, ripping around. So yeah, timing chain's good. Pistons are kissed. That's kind of besides the point. That wasn't what detonated, I guess. It's not even a detonation. It's a skipped distributor. This gear, I don't know if you can see that, is just ruined. So I assume that the distributor skipped, and that's why she wouldn't run. It's a good thing that we're checking everything out and kind of re-putting the whole motor back together, all new gaskets, new head gaskets, all that kind of shit. And then we should be good for Friday, if all goes well, putting it back together. And that indeed is what the issue was. Could have retarded the timing so much that it just went super high pressure and got a poof like right out of that number 2 cylinder, and that's why it shat a little bit of oil out and blew past the head gasket. That's the general diagnosis anyway, so hopefully that's exactly what it is, and we'll find out pretty soon. So I just want to take a minute just to show you guys the exhaust on this thing, since I'm putting it back together right now and gonna do a fire up on it, and hopefully we fixed our issues from yesterday. But anyway, here's the exhaust. It's these are actually boat manifolds from like a speedboat. I actually cut them off right here. They came off of a 324 Olds, and I made runners out of 1/4 inch aluminum plate to help control how much heat goes into them. I've heard of people trying to use them, and some guys online said, no, they're not gonna work, they're not gonna work. They just crack, and I believe that's just because the material's quite thin and they're meant to be cooled. They're meant to have lake water go through them and cool them off so that your boat doesn't catch on fire. We ended up just using like 3/4 inch thick, 60-61 aluminum for the flanges. We built the runners at a 1/4 inch aluminum, welded up the edges, smoothed them out, and then just blasted them to keep that cast look. Made the tips. You've probably seen the flamethrowers. There's just a little nozzle. I use a nitrous jet in there, and then I've just got the spark plug there. I built a little baffle inside. I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Yeah, I just wanted to show you those because a lot of guys ask about them. The other thing we did was so that I could use big runners. We actually made, I didn't make these actually. These came from just some like really huge headers off of a gasser where they actually used the stock bolt pattern and adapted to a wider one with these 4 bolts here and these diagonal bolts here, so that the runners, or like the primaries on the headers, could be super large on whatever fender wells they used to be on. So I just made a template off of that, and that became my flange template for these. And there you can see that flange is super thick there. Had to notch it out for my spark plug boots. Yeah, that's them. They work. I don't know of anybody really that are running aluminum exhaust manifolds. I know GM actually had them factory for a short time and then stopped using them probably because they were cracking. Yeah, there it is. There's the exhaust for the hot rod. The front end stuff's going on next, and the manifolds. Then hopefully we'll see whether or not everything works again. Well, she's healthy and she's happy. Well, we made it. We got it fired up. We did make it to Cache Creek. We went up there for 3 days filming for Metal Reborn, the documentary. If you haven't heard about that, check it out, metalreborn.com. Speedline Filmworks are the guys that have put together this documentary, as well as a bunch of shorts. They're coming out in October. Unless you're local and you want to check out Twilight Drive-In on the 29th, you can go to metalreborn.com to get tickets, but we are showing not only the documentary and all the shorts back-to-back of making the documentary, but we're also going to do American Graffiti and Christine. Those are 2 of our favorite car movies back-to-back on Wednesday night. It's going to be a blast. There's not a ton of tickets. You got to make sure that you buy a vehicle ticket. Vehicle ticket includes 1 person, but make sure that you buy additional tickets online for anybody else that's going to be in the vehicle. It's going to be a wicked night, so hopefully you come check that out. Thanks everybody for watching Make It Custom, and don't forget to like, click subscribe, notifications. We'll see you on the next one.